Nalanda was not a monastery hidden in isolation. It was one of the most ambitious educational institutions the ancient world ever built. Founded in the 5th century CE in present-day Bihar, Nalanda functioned as a fully residential university, centuries before similar institutions appeared in Europe. Students did not come only from the Indian subcontinent. Records describe scholars arriving from China, Korea, Tibet, Central Asia, and Southeast Asia, traveling thousands of kilometers to study here. Nalanda was supported by royal patronage and governed by strict academic standards. Admission was competitive, instruction was rigorous, and debate was central to learning. This was not a place of blind faith, but of structured inquiry. Philosophy, medicine, logic, astronomy, mathematics, linguistics, and Buddhist studies were all taught side by side. Nalanda represented something rare in history, a society that invested heavily in knowledge, preserved it systematically, and treated education as a civilizational priority. Before it was destroyed, Nalanda stood not as a symbol of religion, but as proof that organized global scholarship existed long before the modern world claimed to invent it. Nalanda did not survive on ideals alone. For centuries, it was protected by power. Powerful dynasties across northern India understood that institutions of learning strengthened legitimacy, governance, and cultural influence. Kings and regional rulers funded Nalanda generously, providing land grants, food supplies, and steady financial support. This patronage allowed scholars to teach without dependence on tuition or religious conversion. Nalanda's administrators enforced discipline, academic hierarchy, and institutional continuity. But political stability is never permanent. As dynasties weakened and regional powers fragmented, patronage declined, trade routes shifted, wars increased, and rulers became preoccupied with survival rather than scholarship. Nalanda remained active, but its protection thinned. When power no longer stood between knowledge and violence, institutions like Nalanda became vulnerable. The survival of learning had always depended on political will, and that will was beginning to disappear. By the late 12th century, Nalanda no longer stood under the protection it once enjoyed. Northern India was politically fragmented, and military raids had become common. Around 1193 CE, a Turkic military commander named Bakhtiyar Khilji led a raid through the region. Contemporary accounts suggest that his forces encountered Nalanda unexpectedly. The university was not fortified like a city or palace. It was a place of scholars, monks, and students. Nalanda's libraries, known collectively as the Dharma Ganja, contained hundreds of thousands of manuscripts accumulated over centuries. During the attack, these libraries were set on fire. Later chroniclers recorded that the fires burned for months. Scholars were killed or forced to flee. The academic community that sustained Nalanda collapsed almost overnight. What was destroyed was not only a physical campus, but an entire system of knowledge preservation. Nalanda did not fall because learning failed. It fell because power no longer stood between knowledge and violence. Nalanda did not vanish in a single night. When the flames died, what remained was silence, broken walls, scorched manuscripts, and the sudden absence of voices that once debated the universe. But knowledge does not disappear when buildings fall. Surviving scholars fled, carrying fragments of Nalanda's teachings across Asia. In Tibet, China, Korea, and Southeast Asia, Nalanda's philosophy lived on. Logic, medicine, linguistics, and astronomy survived, not as ruins, but as living traditions. What was lost can never be fully measured. Millions of texts, centuries of experimentation, questions asked, and answers erased before they could reach us. Nalanda reminds us of an uncomfortable truth. Civilizations can value knowledge deeply, and still destroy it through fear, ignorance, or power. Long before modern universities, Nalanda proved that global scholarship was possible, organized, multilingual, and open to the world. Nalanda was not just a university, it was a warning and a lesson. Knowledge survives only when societies choose to protect it.